How's it?
Hey guys,
Hey guys.
here we are. I think that's what I'm supposed to say, and I am supposed to say also that we're going to be talking about needles and happy anniversary to Elizabeth and Christopher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She took the day off for that, so it's just me and you.
Yeah.
And to make it sure that it goes right, he stacked all the stuff in front of him.
Yeah, but the reason I did that was because I was going to hand them to you one at a time.
Oh, yeah. That way I can put them on camera. All right. Well, we'll see how that part of it goes.
Yeah, we're just looking at different needles today.
Okay.
And how they're used and what they're used for.
What purpose you'd be using them for.
Yeah.
What project you might use them on. Where you could use it. You got some. Yep, you did pick those up. I was hoping you got some of that too.
What's that?
The rubber discs.
Oh, yes.
Justin got some. You had some rhino. I think Justin went and got some of the tiger thread that we now carry since we have Ritz tiger thread. We got a whole pile of stuff up here. So if there's anything that you guys have that come up that you want to question about, maybe about needle would be an ideal time to ask it. If you want to know the meaning of life, I'll do my best. At some point, it all comes to an end. It's all uphill from here. I do need to be able to see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That we have going on here.
I was going to start with our harness needles, but I'm missing one size, and I know I had all three of them here.
Uh-oh.
Look in my little bag of tricks.
Well, here's this thing. Oh, that's a hook. I do need to see if I can be able to get the twitch. Yeah, because I can't see the twitch chat. No, it's just white on the screen.
I'm missing one.
All right.
But anyway, for our harness needles have a blunt end. They aren't meant to actually poke a hole. They're meant to go through a pre-punched hole. And we have them in three sizes. We have what they call an aught or a 0.
Yep. It just says direct supervision or adult supervision. Yeah, that's fine. It's right there. That's good. So you have aught.
We have an aught, which is the smallest.
The aught is the smallest.
And that's this one right here.
Let's see how close we can get on this right here.
And these needles, all the needles we're going to talk about today, you want to punch the proper size hole for them. So if you punch too big a hole, there's a lot of space in between the hole and your thread.
Okay.
So this aught is the smallest harness needle we have. So you want to use a small awl or stitching chisel when you punch the holes for that.
Okay.
They also have a very small eye, which a lot of people are kind of intimidated by that. But sometimes you have to taper the end of your thread to get them to.
Hold on, Joe. Oh, that's it.
But then the next size up is a double aught, and I thought I had some of those, but I don't seem to see them here now.
So what would you use a single one for? What kind of hand stitching would you be doing in that area?
In what, an aught?
Yeah. Hold on, let me switch your picture.
Well, as far as hand sewing thread goes, the smallest hand sewing thread that we have to offer really is this awl thread. It's called awl thread, AWL thread, and I use it a lot, because I like the look of a small thread as opposed to a large thread. This is a piece of it here. You can see. If you go to like that triple aught, which is the largest, you would be using a thread similar to this, and you can see the size difference in those. And you would also need to, punch a bigger hole for that bigger awl and the bigger thread.
Yeah, so we're looking at, there's your item number on there, 202-120 $304. That's for the 3-pack of that.
That's for a 3-pack, and that comes in you can buy it in singles in a lot of different colors: brown, blue, red, orange, purple, whatever.
So for the single aught, we're probably using that thread there.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be able to fit that in there.
Yeah, that would be too big for that needle.
All right.
But that needle you would use the double aught or the triple aught.
And this one is the triple aught, right?
Yes, that's the triple. And I don't know what happened to my doubles. I know I brought those in here.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some on our little stack right here of needles.
Okay, yeah. This is a double aught here. There they are in sequence. You can see the size difference in them. And the diameter is really the only difference.
So we got 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Single, double, and triple aught. They also measure those in metric.
Metric?
Yeah, in metric, but I don't know what they measure them in. So I just used aught, double aught, and triple aught. After that, let's go to a different type of needle. Some people think they need a needle that will actually cut the hole in itself, and for that you would need a Glover's needle. But to do that, you need to be using pretty light leather, like a deerskin or real light upholstery type leather. And we have these in different sizes too. Glover's needle actually has a sharp diamond tip on it. You can.
I don't see that thing.
Yeah.
Well, how well can you see that diamond end on there? Not very well.
I don't know, but it's very sharp, very sharp. But it's also a pretty lightweight needle, so you need to use it for lightweight material. Here, we've got the small.
Okay, that was a large one.
Yeah, that was a large, and that's the small there.
So I got the small on top and the large on the bottom there.
For those, you can use a smaller thread. I'm not sure some of this tiger thread in the what sizes have we got here? You'd want the smallest size of thread. Yeah, we got 1 millimeter. And then I think we have a smaller one yet. Yeah, 0.8 millimeter in the rhino thread.
So the rhino thread comes in a 0.8 and the 1
yeah,
millimeter.
And the difference is the size. And we have a variety of colors of that.
The
rhino thread and the tiger thread is a flat braided thread.
Mm-hmm.
And it's waxed. That's another thing. If you guys are hand stitching, I would always suggest use a wax thread. If you have an unwaxed thread, wax it. Mm-hmm. For one thing, it's a wax thread is so much easier to handle. And for another thing, when you pull your stitches tight with a wax thread, it would
beeswax.
Beeswax, yes. Yeah, and then that just comes in cakes, and you can just run your thread through that, and it applies the wax.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I'll take, like, if I want a heavier, like a 207 thread, I'll take some off of a machine and I'll just wax it.
Yeah, and you can do that. But if you don't use a wax thread, you will be fighting it all the way, because when you pull your stitches tight with a wax thread, it will hold the tension on it. If your thread isn't waxed, it'll just relax.
So you got any tips for threading? Maybe somebody's having a problem threading one of these needles. I can't get my thread in there. What could I do?
Well, okay, there could be 2 problems. Number one, you could be using too big a thread, trying to use too big a thread in too small a needle. Number 2, the end on this thread is generally just blunt. We don't have a pair of, we got the scissors here.
So this one, our point does kind of come, or the end of the thread does kind of come to a point on this one.
But if I was having trouble,
Uh-huh.
what I would do,
Do it over here on this.
I would try to cut.
Dang it low. Can you do it on camera?
I don't know. Where's the camera?
There you go.
Hold still.
So you're just cutting it at about a
I'm
45.
cutting it, yeah, cutting it at a steeper angle, then twisting it, and it's waxed.
And so now we're holding all of our
Yeah.
other threads down.
Smaller thread. This is a double knot here. And it goes right through that. Let's see what it does on this single knot, which is the smallest one.
Let's see if we, Justin, on the side of the microphone, can you try to turn it up more? Uh-oh, you're bunching your thread up.
Yeah, pulling it away from me.
It's raining outside, so the sound is getting dampened. Yes. Yeah, you can push it up to like 80. Yeah.
This is, yeah, there we go. This is that all thread and a single knot needle.
So the all thread stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to finagle it to get all those threads to not bunch up there.
You know, in the old days, and still a lot of saddle makers will use an unwaxed linen thread, and then they will wax it before they use it. But before they wax it, they will take and actually taper the end of the thread. I'll show you how they do.
Okay.
They will take and just use the edge of a knife blade.
Hold on. Can you do it over here in this direction, maybe?
Well, if I come over here, I don't know. Let me use a darker colored thread if we've got.
All right. We only brought light colored thread.
Okay, I'll just use.
Oh, you got black one right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, go to that side camera. You just go where you need to go.
Okay, I'm gonna go right here. Okay, just take this knife blade and draw your thread underneath it. Don't try to cut it, but just kind of fray some. You see what I've got there? I've just got some pieces of that thread. What it does is it tapers that end, makes it actually thinner, and since it's waxed, you can go ahead and twist a sharp end on it. Yeah, but now you got a sharp end, and it'll be easier to thread that way.
Okay.
Okay, we've covered that, right?
We got harness out of the way. We got Glover's needles. So harness.
Glover's needles, you'll just need a smaller thread, like a size 69 thread. Maybe a 1/38 thread, but you'll have to wax that if you're going to hand stitch with it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's put these over here.
Where'd your container for those go? Famon's over on Twitch just talking to himself.
Here's the large size. Here's the small. Okay. After that, let's look at these. Okay, we've got some curved needles here, and they are like a Glover's needle. They actually have a sharp end to them. This is your cutting end, and it's got a diamond point on it, which is very sharp. And the other end has an eye in it, as you can see there. And you thread that in, but that way you can get into some tight spots. But there again, it's for a fairly small thread.
What would you use that for?
Oh, like if you're making moccasins or something that you need to, you can't just make a straight hole. You've got to go in in one position on one side and come out in another position on the other side. But where'd I put that?
What are you looking for?
Oh, that needle I just had, that curved needle. Yeah, and this is a 1 3/4 inch. We've also got a 2 5/8 inch, which is quite a bit bigger needle, as you can see there. Two sizes together. You can see the difference.
Just a little bit longer.
And a little bit huskier needle too.
The diameter.
Yes, a little bit. All right.
Someone mentioned about the tubes. I think most of the needles are starting to come in those tubes. They did a new transition over to the warehouse for me.
Yeah, I think we're going to everything being in these tubes.
So there still might be some package because they haven't gone through them yet.
Can you saddle stitch with a Glover's needle?
Not well. Not well.
Yeah, you're going to be poking through your thread.
Yeah. When you use a Glover's needle, they've got this.
Palm.
It's a palm. It's like a thimble, but you put it on your hand. We have it in a right or a left. You can put it on your hand and actually use it to push the needle through.
That one's a C.S. Osborne one.
Yeah, I think that's the only one we carry, if I'm not mistaken. But we've also, after you get your hole punch and you get a needle started through, we've got these handy little rubber discs that you can use to actually, you can grip the needle with it. Do we have a needle out?
If I can pick it up.
Yeah. When you've got the needle is through your material, you can grab it with this piece of rubber and pull it through.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot better purchase on the needle itself.
Yep. Small threads. Nice needle holders.
We've also got this very huge curved needle, which is this one here. So like if you're using artificial sinew
Whoa, it's an earthquake.
or real sinew or a piece of light leather like a deer skin, if you're stitching something like that, you can use this real big one. But boy,
What are you threading that with?
you'll have, well, a piece of deer skin or a piece of sinew or
You're
something,
using something that's
big.
thicker to
Yeah,
and take care of the hole that you just put in the leather.
a well rope or
Oh, well, bro.
something. But this dude,
A lasso.
you got to be mean to stick this through a piece of leather.
Yeah, and if you stick that through, you might want to have protection on the other side, or
Yeah.
you might hurt yourself.
Yeah,
I feel like that's crocodile Dundee.
yeah,
That's what you're using when you're lacing the gator up.
yeah.
When it's guide's still on the gator.
Yeah, and the gator's still kicking.
Yeah.
Then we've got these little, what do they call these? Permalock needles. Now, I've never really used these. I've never really found a need to use these, but a lot of people like them, you know. And these needles, they're brass, and they've got a blunt point on it. It's kind of a point, but it's blunt. And the other end is just a hole that's threaded. So you can stick your thread in there and actually twist the needle, and it will thread itself onto the thread. And use it for thread. You know, we've got this small size, we've got a medium size, or regular they call it.
Do you use these for stitching? Have you ever used one?
I've never used one. No.
You've used like when you do lacing. They have
Yeah,
the Permalock. Those Permalock needles are different for the lacing ones.
No, they're all the same.
Oh, okay.
They all have that blunt end on the business end, and then the other end is threaded. It's just a hole that's threaded. You know, and this one you could use for leather lace. You know, but when you use these, you've got to have a pretty good size hole. You know, so that's one reason I don't use them very often. Or I never have used them. But to do leather lace, we have these 2-prong lacing needles.
Don't we have them in 2-prong? Don't we have single prong ones?
I look for them. I don't know that we have those anymore. But these 2 prongs are what's mostly
Yeah, you're
prevalent.
good. You're right there and seeing that white spot.
Yeah. But up here, yeah. But you can, I don't know if you can see it here.
Yep, you can see the 2 prongs.
There are
just
2
like
prongs in there. You spread this apart and put your lacing in there and then squeeze them together. And if you use the grain side of the leather against those prongs, it will hold pretty good.
So the finish side goes against the prong.
Yeah. I'll show you.
All right. Here's a pair. Oh, you go.
Yeah, I'll just use this. But I always use my thumb.
Yeah, so you got those kind of those legs on there. You just got to spread them apart.
Yeah, you spread one leg's a little bit longer than the other, and I just grab it, spread them apart.
Mm-hmm. And so those prongs are facing the top of the screen right now, and you can see that finish side is also facing to the. You can see the 2 little prong holes there, and so the finish side of it is facing that way.
Yeah.
So then,
well, I've done it a few times, but really, that's I mean, you can use a pair of pliers and all that, but if you just push down on that with your thumbnail, that you can slide that piece of lace right in there. I'll generally taper that lace off. I'll skive the end of it so it's not such a lump, but
kind of what you did with the thread, except for you're using the blade part to actually cut away some.
Yeah. But now Kevin, he laces, that's his thing, and he never tapers the end of his. I always do. It makes it easier to pull through the holes on your project.
All right.
And you can use this same size needle for the 3/16 or 5/32 or your 1/8 inch.
Oh, so same size needle for either side of the lace.
Yeah.
Size of the lace.
And if you get bigger, like if you use a piece of baseball glove lace, something like this, then you can use that big Permalock needle if you want.
Yeah, that's our fire retardant.
Yeah.
Justin was going to do a video on this lace being fire retardant. I was going to see if you could catch it on fire.
Yeah, your feet won't catch on fire.
It was actually done when the California wildfires were going on out there.
Oh, yeah?
That's what we had got it for, to send out to help supply.
I had no idea.
I'm going to set all these over so Justin can enter all these items into the description of this video.
We also have a packet of curved needles here. If I can get these open without tearing the package up too bad.
Now, are these for in leathering, or are we using these for beads?
You can use these for leather, for beads. Most people use the ones we sell are over on the leather side.
Oh, these are on the leather side?
Yeah. But we've got these 2 deeply curved needles, and they're sharp on one end, but you're better off pre-punching your holes. Then we've just got a long, sharp needle, one that's got a kind of a bent end. And this one here, I don't know if we still sell them, but they called them easy thread needles because they've got a really big
the eye on it.
They've got a really big eye.
Put your hand there.
Actually, we still sell those.
Yeah. And you can buy those, separate. You don't have to buy this whole package. You can just buy that type of needle. And it makes it easier to thread. But because it has that big eye, that end is real brittle. So, there's drawbacks to everything.
Yeah, and then those last 2.
Yeah, then you just got smaller straight needles.
Yeah.
And they have a point on them, but they're more like a harness needle than they are a glover's needle.
So let's see. You can see. Let's turn it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 needles there. So it says number 1 is a lampshade. Number 2 is a mattress. Number 3 is sails. Number 4 is packaging. Number 5 is carpet. Number 6 is canvas, and number 7 is leather.
So unless you're doing any of those specific items, these won't do you. Not really. You use them for whatever you use them for.
Yeah. They all do have a purpose, but you can use them for other purpose. Can I do that? Sure you can, until you can't anymore.
Yeah.
Next up.
I think we've about covered the needles.
About covered all the needles and the threads that go with it?
We do sell this, they call it an all-for-all. and it's like an automatic machine,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes with that all thread that we were talking about earlier. But there again, you just punch the needle through there, and when you pull it back, you can thread the bottom side of the thread through and pull it through, and it makes a lock stitch.
Yeah, it's kind of doing a saddle stitch.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a lock stitch.
Oh.
Like a machine stitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you only use one piece of thread, but when you stick it through and pull it back, it makes a little loop on the back
That's
side.
your bobbin.
And you stick the bottom side of that thread through there. So it actually locks like this in the middle of
Yeah, I think we have a video of
Yeah.
Andrew using that.
Yeah. But then as far as punching the holes to use your harness needles, we have a lot of different awls that you can use. Like these three here are just all halves. You can put any of these different size stitching awls in.
Let me zoom out a little bit. Kevin thought he was going to come in here, but then he decided that
He saw what was going on.
Yeah. So you got all these different awls that can go in the halves.
Yeah. From very small, this is about the smallest one we carry. I think it's 1 3/4 inches. It might be 2 inches, but we do have 1 3/4 inches somewhere.
What's that? Underneath those rubber discs. Oh, that was
That's
the
the rubber disc package.
rubber disc bag. What are these grooves that are on the back?
That's just when you open up this all half, it works just like a drill chuck.
Okay.
And you just open this up and you stick that rough end down in there.
It just helps it grip.
Back up, and it has a little wrench with it, and you just tighten that up. It just
helps it grab
grips
on
that-
something.
That all, yeah.
All right.
But we have different sizes. We also have a curved all half or all shaft that you can put in there. You got big ones if you're going to be buck stitching using real heavy.
Big ones if you need a big one.
Yeah.
Little ones
Then
if you need a little one.
Then we've got a stabbing awl, which is just a round pointed awl that you can just punch a hole through. Then we've got this awl here, which actually has a hole in the end that you can use to kind of pop stitch. You can stick the awl through and run your piece of thread through and then pull it back through. Then we've got these fixed blade awls.
This curved one goes with the halves.
Yeah, with any of those 3 halves, you can use that.
Okay.
And this. But then we've got the fixed blade awls.
Okay.
I think we've got 3 of them here. This is just a very small one. That's a little bit longer. Then we've got this big one here.
What size awl would you suggest for a double-aught needle compared to with?
I would use 1 3/4 inches or a 2 inch. The awls we sell are basically all the same thickness and diameter until you start getting in the longer ones. Then they get a little bit bigger. As you can see, this awl here is quite a bit thicker and heavier than these two.
Mm-hmm.
So for the double-aught, I would use one of these two.
So either 011410.
The thing is, if you're going to do this very much, you will end up having an assortment of different sizes of awls and threads and needles,
How much is that awl I just said, Justin?
Which one was it?
011-4110. So $15 for that one.
Small, medium, and large are all the same price.
Small, medium, large, all the same price. And if you type in that one number, they'll all kind of come up together.
Yep.
Does SLC have jerk needles? Nope, we just have 2 jerks here right now.
We do have jerk needles.
Oh, we do have jerk needles. I was trying to
I guess I didn't get one.
I was trying to just be funny about it, Eugene.
But a jerk needle will work the same way as that all for all.
Mm-hmm.
But you you just punch all your holes first, and then you use your jerk needle to.
I think you can just type in jerk on the website, and it should pull up a jerk needle.
Maybe a few pictures.
Yeah.
A jerk needle is just the needle out of one of those old hook and awl machines.
Mm.
You know, and those old saddle makers started using that to stitch with.
What else you got over there? Just our thread?
Yeah, just the thread.
All right, well, let's look at the thread real quick. So we got the waxed hand sewing thread. What would you use this with?
That's a very big thread.
Probably a triple aught.
I probably would never use that, but if you were doing something and you wanted a real heavy, coarse looking thread, that's what I would use.
So there's that one. Then we got the rhino thread, which I believe we say? We have it in 0.8 and 1.
1 and 0.8 millimeters. Yes.
Yeah. So just a flat waxed.
Have a big color selection in both of those.
Yep. I would show you this, and it's just white. It's probably going to be hard to see that, but that's the 1 millimeter. Then to be also the flat braided Ritz Tiger. A lot of people like to use that. I think we have 4, maybe 5 color on the Ritz, 6 colors on the Ritz Tiger, and we sell it in these full spools. In the full, we don't split it down in it. I think it's 500. 500. I can't remember what the length of it is.
What's the diameter of it?
It's not marked on this, but Justin's going to tell us in just. Oh, there we go. So this is 500 meters, and it's the 1 millimeter. The rhino or the tiger does come in different diameters, but we only carry the 1 millimeter.
Yeah, it was pretty good because I used it when I was doing it. I used it.
So there you go, 500 meters and 1 millimeter is the diameter on that one. That's the only diameter we carry on it. See, look at everybody knowing what I got. Then we got this for the Speedy Stitcher. Speedy Stitcher. That's what the video Andrew did, was a Speedy Stitcher. But it's like
basically the same machine. Yeah.
basically like for the All for All. I don't remember if we discontinued those, since we did have the All for All. But the Speedy Stitcher looks like we still have thread for it. So if you got
We do have
waxed polyester thread, that goes in the Speedy Stitcher, which is basically the All for All, and that's the video that Andrew did. It wasn't the All for All; it was the Speedy Stitcher. And then you got.
Then we've got a flat braided, I believe this is nylon thread, but it's waxed. And all it says is heavy, but it's about the same size as that 1 millimeter.
And you can really tell
thread you've got
you
over
can
there.
really tell how flat this one is. It's got quite a few more strands, it looks like, in it. All right.
That's all I've got.
Then you just got lace over there.
Yeah, I brought some lace just to show how to thread
What
those.
other? I know I just updated some thimbles on our website as stitching aids. Then we got the palm protector, the rubber disc. What other stitching aids would there be? A stitching pony.
Yeah, and I didn't bring the pony in with us, but yeah, it's just a clamp that when you're sitting on a chair, you just put it between your legs, and it's like a vise. It just holds your piece of leather there, so you've got 2 hands to stitch your lace with, as opposed to 1 hand to hold it with.
And it also makes it much easier to shoot a video if somebody's using a stitching pony. Otherwise, I'm just chasing somebody around. Justin's chasing somebody around trying to figure out where they're at. What else?
Well, that's all I'm thinking of right now.
Tomorrow, Liz and I are going to be doing live shopping. We got leather for bundles over there. It's just going to be live shopping full of bundies. And then on Thursday morning, I don't know if you know this yet, we're going to be setting up for Farm Fest over there. Hopefully the rain has moved from then. So
Will they
one
let
day-
us set up in the morning, or do we have to wait till afternoon?
I think I think we'll be able to set up in the morning. I think Liz was hoping that they were going to be able
I
to.
know in the past they wouldn't let us in till after.
Hey Tom, KCCI Cowboy Poet. Everybody Google it. One day will SLC sell a traditional stitching horse? Very unlikely.
We have the small stitching horse. We don't have the big one.
Yeah, we've just got the ponies. We don't have the horse.
Yeah.
We have a pony and we have what we call a horse. It's the basic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a horse that has like the clamp. And
Yeah, it's
we don't have
But
the big.
yeah. I think
the
it's still
freestanding bench type.
yeah. The
horse stuff.
traditional horse would be one that you're sitting on.
Yeah.
And you got foot pedals.
I think you can get those from Weaver.
The stitching horses.
Yeah. I bet if you Googled stitching horses, there would be a
You'll be
lot
able to
of them
find
come
some.
up.
Check on eBay.
Yeah.
So then Friday will be at Farm Fest, and so we'll be live from Farm Fest, kind of like we were last year. We'll look at our booth, see what's going on, just kind of hang out. I'll probably wander around, see what's going on. So it's not going to be really any educational stuff, just me going and talking to people. There was that one lady last year when I was going around. She's like, "Don't want to be on camera." I was like, okay, well, they sent they sent the great girl to be at the booth to talk to everybody.
The law was probably after her.
Yeah, don't put me on camera. All right, well, we're gonna clean up this little mess so Justin can have it, and then I'm gonna set up in the after party. I'm gonna set up a few leather items on top of the table so people can see some live shopping, and then we'll be here tomorrow. Liz and I will be back. Liz will be back, and then it'll just be her and I at 2 p.m. Next week, we have other videos that will take place in October for the October knife sheath. We're doing the knife sheath next week.
And I won't see you guys till November.
We should probably mark out your classes so nobody schedules in them.
Yep.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, shoot them down in the comments. What's that little thing that everybody's like, there's only 30% of our viewers that actually subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you hit the subscription and then also the bell for notifications. You need to learn that part so you can do that.
Well,
See you guys.
need.